with microphones, you want to have a dynamic mic, like when you're talking into them.
Yeah.
And condenser is meant for like singing, correct?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it picks up like if a fan is on in the other room, like you're gonna have a hum through the whole thing. So yeah, I'll get something different next time.
I think it might have something to do with your equipment too. Do you have it plugged into your computer? Is it directly into your computer? No. Do you have it into like a mixer?
It's a Mackie, like 2x1 or whatever. So it's got like a pickup for guitar and bass and then microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's got the phantom power and all that shit.
Yeah, so it might have something to do with that too, because with my old equipment, I had something like that, and it would pick up everything like in the house.
Yeah,
like the dryer and washer. Like I'd have to make sure that stuff wasn't running when I would do a podcast.
Yeah.
But then I bought the Rodecaster Pro, and it like condensed everything. So like all the outside noise, unless you're right in front of the mic, it doesn't really pick it up unless somebody's like upstairs yelling and screaming, which has happened a few times.
Right. I can imagine. I told you to come over here.
I did a podcast last week, and my son and my daughter were upstairs right above me, yelling and screaming at each other. And it was a serious podcast, too. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? I had to text my wife in the middle of the podcast, like, what is going on?
The lights are shaking. Dust is falling from the ceiling. Like,
that's the one thing that, like, a lot of people don't realize how much it takes out of, like doing a podcast like this. This is kind of like a formal setting, and I do like a lot of like business owners and like serious stories. People are sharing like these dramatic things on the podcast, and then I got my kids in the background. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
But you got your own podcast now.
Yeah.
What's that called?
The Upside of Hurt.
Play on words.
Yes. It was I started it with a Facebook page years ago, and it was supposed to be something to spread positivity, because I was just starting to notice all the negative shit that was on the internet and how prevalent it was becoming. So I decided to start a page to kind of counteract that. And then I got offered the opportunity to do the podcast, and figured that it would be, a good name for something like that, because it's talking about like poetry and storytelling and songwriting and stuff like that. So,
have you had pretty good success with that, as far as like having guests and like views and downloads or whatever?
Yeah. So on so it like the main platform for it is BandLab, which is like a social media site for musicians. And we get a pretty good following on there. I think I've had like upwards of 200 views in for one show. Sometimes it's 60,
Yeah.
But like YouTube and like other things like that don't quite get as much. But like the live of it on BandLab seems to do pretty well for, Sunday night at 10 o'clock. So it's not exactly like prime time.
Yeah. No, definitely not. But that's one thing with YouTube. It's very difficult to get a following.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why is it? They make it difficult, it seems like.
I'm sure they do. Yeah. Because they got to pay you if you get more.
That's true. That is true.
But like so it's kind of like a network like called Angified, and she has a different show every night that goes on BandLab about music, or like Metal Mondays, or Tech Tuesdays, and just different stuff, whether it comes to like how to sing or recording or how to write, all kinds of different shows every day of the week. And then they put them all on YouTube. And I think they sometimes go through Restream as well, which is like a whole nother
platform.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's kind of like StreamYard or like Zoom, it's just used to kind of put everything out there.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
It's weird. There's so much, everybody was jumping on the bandwagon when Zoom blew up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's interesting. Now, how many have you guys done? Or how many have you done?
let's see. God, it's got to be like 8. Probably about 8. Yeah. I'd say. I took like 2 weeks off from the time I started until now, but other than that, it's been every week. So yeah, I'd say it's been about 8.
What do you think of it? Is it difficult to do? I mean, because that's one thing, like, a lot of people say, like, they couldn't navigate an interview.
It's
different than being interviewed.
It's way harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
You know, you think you're just gonna talk to people and you know, but you got all these different personalities that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Some people, as much as they want to be on the show, don't talk that much.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like pulling questions out of them can be a little rough.
Especially when you're doing it online, it's very difficult.
Yeah. There's no like I did one that was in person, and my buddy came over and we did it in my apartment, and like that was cool, but it was also like I'm not set up for 2 people, so like there was just the mic in the middle, and like let's hope this works. And then I forgot to put on like the phantom power for like the first 5 minutes. So I had to cut it out and like just randomly go to like the middle of the interview. And it was kind of fun though. Like I put like I cut it and I like edited it so like this little like smiley face came on or whatever, and it's like and I put an intro to it, so it's like this is why it's starting in the middle, you know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and
that's hilarious.
I was trying to edit it all like within like minutes of like having to send it to get it put out because I realized it way too late. But yeah,
that's funny.
It's definitely got its challenges. That's you know until you do it, you wouldn't even think it was a challenge.
Yeah, no. When I started doing podcasts, I was like, it won't be that bad. Like I watch podcasts all the time, and I watch like local people even do podcasts. I'm like, that I could do that.
Right.
I could totally do that. That's simple.
Yeah.
And then you do it, and you're like, oh. Like I remember sitting in my first couple interviews, and literally like 3 minutes in, I'm like, oh boy. So tell me a little bit more about yourself. Like, I had nothing to talk about. I'm like, what do I do? I want to do this for an hour. How am I going to do this for an hour?
Right. Like, what'd you do today?
It was awkward.
It can be, yeah.
I remember I interviewed the mayor. I was only maybe a couple months in, and it was only like, I was only maybe 20 episodes in, and I got through a half hour. But barely.
I feel like I really feel like he would be awkward to talk to.
He's a little awkward.
Yeah, for being like a political leader or whatever you're supposed to be.
Well, then not to mention it was kind of intimidating at the time too, because I hadn't met anybody like that. Like, nor have I had anybody come to my house like that. Like, and he like flew up the street in like this SUV. His assistant flew up in her vehicle. They jump out. It's like this whole presidential like entrance. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So it's kind of intimidating.
Sure.
And it wasn't terrible, but you know.
I think they probably do that shit on purpose, like just to make it intimidating. Like we're just gonna
quite the entrance
rush in there, like someone's on fire, and just let's go. You ready? Come on. Running downstairs, like yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Red Bike Delivery. This delivery service operates only using battery-powered, eco-friendly transportation. Red Bike Delivery is there for all your delivery needs, whether it's dinner for the family, flowers for your partner, or new houseplants for your new collection. Red Bike Delivery will gladly deliver those and everything in between. So what are you waiting for? Check out Red Bike Delivery on Facebook or Instagram for more information. Red Bike Delivery, because there's only one Earth.
I couldn't. I really feel like I would have a hard time with him as well. So.
Yeah. No, and the thing is, I mean, it wasn't just him. Like there's a couple other people. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like I was telling you, I took some time off, and then I started doing podcasts. The very first one, it's called In Kind Bakery. It's two different women, and they were the first ones that I started doing. Like as soon as I was laid off, and that interview was so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Like now I know that like I'm comfortable in my space. I'm comfortable here. I can just bullshit, talk about whatever. Talk about my day. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, just go back and forth if I have nothing to talk about.
Right, yeah.
But back then I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Like, what do I want to put out there?
You feel like you got to ask like these like monumental questions.
Yeah.
That,
No. But really, people don't care about that. I mean, they just want to know about that person and talk about normal people shit.
Yeah. Normal people shit. Yes. Whatever that may be.
Yeah.
To each, their own. But yeah, it's fun though too. Like I've definitely like had some conversations and met people that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet. And there's some like huge like save the world thing coming up. I don't know I can't remember what it's called, but like
save the world from what?
Like ourselves. Like I think there's, from what I saw, like a clip of like a trailer for it or something, or like an ad for it, and it seemed like it had something to do with like gun violence and stuff. That's some of the major things that are happening
locally, or
no, like not globally, not even like in the United
nationally.
States. Yeah, nationally. Jeez, I can think of every other word except for that. Yes, nationally. And there's a bunch of different like radio stations and stuff that are involved in it, and I guess that Angified Network is going to be involved somehow. So like,
oh, cool.
I might be able to get like a song on there or something, or I don't know. But
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yep, and like I said, that opportunity wouldn't be there without the the show. So
yeah.
Dude,
this gun violence shit is crazy.
Yeah, it's like there's got to be a solution,
what would it be,
or at least working towards one.
What would the solution be? Put armed guards in front of schools?
Like I think there's so many like factors to it that like it's gonna take a lot of cooperation that we're not capable of right now because everyone's so divided.
Yeah.
So sadly, like I mean. I saw a video of somebody. He was in a Q&A thing, like in an auditorium, and the NRA like was there, like the whole like the CEO of the NRA was there, and he was like, he was giving this completely sarcastic speech about how I can't think of the guy's name, but the CEO of the NRA was like, his name is mentioned like at this shooting, and then he says like 15 different shootings, where like he did nothing basically, and like to change any, policies or, and like they were so clueless, and it was so obvious, like how ridiculous he was being, like sarcastically, and like people started clapping at the end, like because they literally were like, yeah, that was a great speech, like and it was complete like sarcasm. So, I
wish I could pull that up right now.
It's scary. Like, yeah, I think I saw it on TikTok or something. So, but yeah, it was, it's an uphill battle, I think.
Yeah.
With the, access to guns for everybody.
Yeah. The thing is though, it's like, what do you do? Because the bad guys that want to get guns are going to get guns no matter what, even if you outlaw them.
Right.
And so, like, what can you do? I mean, like, for instance, Chicago has a gun ban.
Right.
But that's one of the places where that's, like, the most gun violence happens.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I think 5 of the, like, top, like, something like some of the top cities, like, for gun violence have some of the most strictest laws against it. So, like, obviously it shows that it does nothing.
Yeah.
I think the issue is there's some mental health. I don't think it's completely mental health.
You don't think so? I think a lot of it is.
I think a lot of it is privilege. You see a lot of the shooters are like these white males and stuff like that, and I feel like the patriarchy kind of sets it up for that.
I agree with that, and I think that it's interesting that you bring that up because one of the things I constantly think about whenever something like this happens is these things don't happen at like inner city schools. And I think it's because they see this shit like daily. Like, I mean, there might be a shooting at an inner city school, but it's usually like a one-on-one crime.
Right.
It's not a mass shooting.
Right.
And I think because they have to struggle every day and try to make it through their day, they kind of, I don't know. They're less likely to do that.
Yeah. Like most, shootings have a purpose to them. Like as far as like, somebody did something, it's like a solution to which doesn't justify it, but I'm just saying that's what it is. And in these situations, it's just nonsensical violence, really. So, yeah, I think community has to play a big part in it, and I think that education, like as far as firearms go, is way more important than taking people's guns away. Like in making sure people understand, give people an understanding of the like value of life, you know, and then maybe they wouldn't take somebody's blindly. Yeah, so, like that. I think that's more important. Like, and it doesn't start with locking people up when they're adults. It starts with teaching them when they're kids. So yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. Yeah, so we'll see what we can do. But it's gonna take a collaborative effort. So. Hopefully. Yeah. Especially like here in Lansing, it's crazy too to like think about all the different there's been like a shooting every day in Lansing. Yeah. Every single day. Mm-hmm. It's and that's another one like the kids they just don't understand, you know. I can't speak for that. I would assume they can't understand or they don't understand because like how else could you? I mean, you just threw your life away for like an argument or a disagreement or like somebody owes you $50 or whatever it is, you know, like it just doesn't make any sense. Like that you can make a decision like that. That's going to cost you the rest of your life. Yeah. You know, someone else's actual life and then yours in prison. Like, yeah. Do you follow the Lansing Police Department on Facebook? No. Oh, my gosh. I do not. You should. It's kind of comical. I could imagine.
It's comedy. Yeah. It really is because they've been posting... here, I got to pull it up. All right. They've been posting these things where they, like, bust people with guns or they found, like, a bunch of guns at a park. Mm-hmm. At a park. And they're bragging about, like, how they found it and... Thank God they're off the streets. Yeah. And I'm just like laughing because they're like bragging about it. Like
how, I just can't imagine why a bunch of guns would be at a park. Like that that's I don't know. What it can't be any worse than the Uvale Police Department or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
That city is bragging about their tactical training and gear and shit and like
they have nothing to brag about.
Oh, yeah. That was like, and what shocked me was like they didn't pull the post.
Doesn't this look staged?
Oh my God! Yeah. Like what the fuck? Come on, that's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh!
A freaking machine gun like in the middle of a slide.
Yeah, like, and then they're like things that don't mix: children's playground equipment and a loaded rifle. Thanks to an alert citizen, your LPD officers recovered 2 stolen rifles and arrested a 19-year-old suspect seen carrying them through a residential neighborhood. The suspect attempted to hide the rifles as officers arrived in the area. With the help of a police dog, we were able to find them.
That's like the worst hiding spot ever. Like, there's no way someone tried to hide it there.
It's literally in a slide.
Yeah, like that's open. Like, that's it. Totally looks staged.
Yeah. They posted that. It made me laugh a little.
What park was it? Did it say?
No, I don't think it did.
Yeah. I know that like there was a couple, not too long ago, the cops were like right outside my house for like the neighbor who had barricaded himself like in his grandma's house or something, and they kept yelling, "This is the Lansing Police Department" or whatever. Come out with your hands out, you know what, all the usual stuff, and then they're like, "We're not going anywhere." Like he thinks like I'll just wait them out. They're gonna go home. Like, I'll get them at shift change, you know.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
We're not going anywhere. They kept saying it. It was driving me crazy every time because I couldn't leave because there was
open the window. Like, shut the fuck up.
There was just I took a picture of it. There was like probably 20 cops standing at the end of my driveway, like watching us all like go down. Yeah. Oh. And then like a week or two ago, they had like tons of patrol cars parked everywhere in my neighborhood, and which is weird because like it doesn't garner a lot of police traffic usually. Yeah. So like to see them like on like multiple cars on every street was like, yeah, they were looking for somebody. They had it all shut down, and I'm just like riding my bike. Like,
am I safe?
Hopefully they're not looking for a guy on a red bike. And I had to like ride past like a canine unit to get like into my house, and just it was a little nerve wracking, you know, just like once I got by him and I realized, you know, I was good, then I was much more comfortable. But yeah, I went around the block, like all the way as far as I could, like to try to see if there was like somewhere where I didn't have to pass a police vehicle, and there wasn't. No.
It's interesting. Whenever I see police cars like that, I get curious. I'm like, I just kind of want to sit around.
Yeah.
I feel like there's gonna be a show.
Yeah,
of
right.
some sort.
There could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been stopped like when I was living in Phoenix, they were looking for somebody in this neighborhood, and like they were like literally like checking, like it was like a checkpoint or whatever, to like see if the person was in the car or like, you know, anything like that. So yeah, that was and like there everybody has brick walls like for fences. Yeah. So like you never know, like somebody's like just hopping over those walls, like all of a sudden in your yard, and you know the helicopter's going up above, and or the ghetto bird as they call it.
Ghetto bird.
Yeah. So I've definitely been in a few, or like seen a few of those situations where they got like the blocks locked down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember living with my brother on the south side of Lansing, and I was sleeping because I was on third shift at GM at the time. And he woke me up. He's like, hey, my brother woke me up. He's like, hey, there's a bunch of police outside. And they were trying to pull over this moped. Well, this guy dumped the moped. The police jumped out of the car, tried shooting him with a taser, dropped the taser because they missed, and then took off after him. And then, like, the police car is running. The moped is still there. The taser's on the ground. You're like, what the heck?
You could have cashed in like
really could
a moped, a taser, and a cop car all in one stop. Man, that would have gotten you something on the black market, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
A police issued taser. I don't know if they're any different than the regular ones, but yeah. Speaking of things getting stolen.
Yeah. Speaking of which.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody today, and they said I'd never met them, and I was helping them unload food at the Fledge for their food pantry, and she asked me who I was, and I told her, and she said, "Oh, I've been seeing you a lot in the news," and I said, "Yeah, not always for good things, unfortunately, but at least it's not me doing anything bad."
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a kind of a plus, I guess.
So, do you have any word on the bike at all?
Like last thing I heard, and then this is all just rumors and speculation and whatnot. I heard that it was spray painted black, which would make sense. Like, yeah, it's and even if it's spray painted black, like there's so many like identifying features to it. Like, and even if they took the battery and the motor off, which is useless because unless they ordered a charger for it, which I doubt they went on Amazon and got a charger. If they did, I mean, more power to them. That's pretty smart, but like, yeah, it's just dead weight without that, and that would have died within an hour of him stealing it. So
wow,
yeah.
So let's break that down. How did this happen? I know you've probably told us so many times.
Well, yeah, not a ton, but it's just I was going to Meijer downtown to do a delivery. I had to pick up a 6-pack for somebody, and it was raining, so I put my bike inside where the carts are in the back, like up against like the wall, like back as far from the doors as it could have possibly been. And I came back out and it was gone, and I thought someone was messing with me. Like one of my buddies like saw that it was in there and like put it out somewhere, So I looked out at the cart rack or not the bike rack, and it wasn't there. And I realized real quickly that like it was someone stole it. And when I was leaving, I saw the manager, so I knew where he was. So I went back to him and told him what happened. We went to the cameras, or to like, he pulled out a laptop and we was looking at the cameras, and he went back 10 minutes. And I wasn't even in the store 10 minutes before that. Like, that's how fast I was in and out, and how fast he was in and out. Like, I was probably there for maybe 5 minutes. Like, I knew where I was going. I knew what I needed. There was no one in line. Like, wow. Yeah, I was in and out. So, so he's got some balls. I'll give him that. Like, because to steal like one of the most recognizable bikes in Lansing is pretty ballsy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and I don't even think he knew. I don't know if he. I don't know if he knew what he had. I don't know if it was planned, you know, if they, cause like it seemed, you know, for it to happen that fast, like they had to have seen me go in, you know, I would assume.
I think people are opportunists.
Yeah.
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 My brother just recently, had his car stolen here in Lansing.
Mm-hmm.
He was at a laundromat, and he was doing laundry. He went back for a minute to switch his laundry to the dryer, came back. He was only gone like 35 seconds.
Yeah.
And he turned around and seen his car going around the corner.
Yeah.
Somebody jacked his car.
Yeah.
And they called the police and they couldn't do anything, but he had a GPS on his phone from, you know, OnStar.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so he's tracking them all around town.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know the phrase, stole it like, or drive it like you stole it? He's like, yeah, that's what they did.
They're joyriding, huh?
He said at one point they were on the south side, and then they went to like this side of town, and then they went to like the north side, and they were coming back over here. I'm like, so they're probably just picking up all their homies.
Yeah. They're having a good old time. And like, did the cops, did they recover it?
Well, so he found it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was parked in somebody's driveway.
So the police didn't even do anything.
No. I guess when he found it, he called the police. And they did fingerprints.
Yeah.
And they couldn't find anything, and then he just took his car.
They couldn't. I really doubt they wiped the whole car down. Like they're that smart.
Yeah.
I just don't. Well, of course, if you don't have a record or if your fingerprints aren't on record, then it really doesn't help much, I guess. But yeah.
And they couldn't really like trace it down to like any specific person because it was parked out like on the street in front of somebody's house and like in front of like a couple different houses.
Okay.
So it's like, which house did they go in?
Oh.
So when he got there, he just took it and then called the police.
So he got it back though.
Like, yeah, he got it back.
Yeah, on his own. So just goes to tell you, get GPS on everything that you have that can be stolen because the police aren't gonna do shit.
No, they're not.
Like they didn't do. I filed a report. Well, I documented it because I didn't even feel like filing a report. Like I documented it simply because like if somebody tried to steal it or sell it to a pawn shop, like I wanted it on record that it was stolen.
Right.
But like, as far as pressing charges and going through that whole process, like I didn't care about all that shit. Like I just wanted some help. Like look for my damn bike.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah. I mean, you would think that they could like look at the security cameras at the Meijer, and then maybe some security cameras at some like nearby businesses to see in which direction he went.
I was thinking about all that, like if there was cameras outside, like at the hotel there, or like at the Mission, or anywhere, and like but they're the police, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's something, I don't know. I had more, like, so I posted about it, and I think it had, like, close to 300 shares, like, and then I was getting messages from people, like, saying, reports saying they thought they saw it here or there, and I chased this person down, and, like,
oh, my gosh.
I lost him, or whatever, like nobody got ran over or anything, so, which I was giving them permission to do, but only if it was with my bike. Like, don't just run random people over.
My grandma sent me a message because she's seen me share your post.
Oh yeah,
and she's like, it was some bike on Marketplace, and she's like, "Is this the bike?" And I was like, "No, that's a black bike."
Yeah,
and it looked nothing like your bike. It was like a old school looking bike.
Oh yeah. The most like the defining thing is it has that shock like in the back, like in the middle of the frame. So if it was. And like the handlebars were way raised up, unless they took all that stuff out and like replaced it, they'd have to buy replacement parts for it.
At that point, was it worth it?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. Like for somebody, it was. And I so like. This is how I've looked at it because I wanted, of course I was angry for a point in time, and it's like I went through like the 5 stages of grieving.
That was your baby though,
like denial, like it'll come back, like, and then finally acceptance, like it's gone. But yes, it was. I mean, that's what I started the business on. That's what I like just the couple days before that I finished like the fundraiser for Ellie's place. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I went 360 some miles like that month. So like one day I did 43 miles.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How much were they donating?
So I put forward like of my money, I put 50 cents a mile, and then I had some people match that and other donors that helped support it. So I think we raised
cool.
like over $600. So
Nice.
and that's basically like I wasn't like shooting for that number specifically, but the one of the marketing like the lady that runs the marketing there told me that basically $600 is what they need to put one child through their program for a year. So I basically, you know, got a kid through it for a year. So
That's cool.
yeah. So it was pretty cool. To see other people too, and that's like come up and you know and put in their money and their time, and that's like so the one thing that I'm trying to take out of this is like a friend started to GoFundMe for it because it was, you know, the bike was stolen, and it's, you know, it's pretty important. It's not just a bike, you know, it's not just like a leisure.
It's your livelihood.
Like, yeah, exactly. And so there was 100 donations in that, like, so the way I look at it is it took one person stole it, but 100 people helped me get it back. And like, if that doesn't say anything good about our community, like, I don't know what could. So, you know, 100 to 1 is a pretty good number.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, and that's just the people that donated. That's not counting the people that shared it or like that were out there looking and stuff like that. So it was probably way more than that, you know.
It was funny because I reached out to Sarah Pierce, you know, who runs the 517 page.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I would like to start like a fundraiser. After I texted you, I texted her, and I'm like, I'd like to start a fundraiser. Like, is there any way I can promote this on the 517 page? And she's like, no, you can't do that because otherwise other people will want to do it. And so I just limit it to nonprofits. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And then she sent me a message again. She's like, you know what? She's like, if you do that, I can share it from my own page. That's kind of a loophole. And I'm like, okay. And then I literally was going to do it that night. I was going to actually, no, at first she had suggested doing a spaghetti dinner for the businesses you deliver. She's like, then that way everybody wins. Yeah. Like, they'll get money, he'll get money. Like, I'm like, that would be a good way. So I'm like thinking about how I could put that together. And then that night, I thought about putting it together. It got on Facebook, and I seen that somebody shared the GoFundMe, and I'm like, motherfucker. That's cool. So then I messaged Sarah. I sent it to her, and she's like, oh, wow. She's like, I guess I'm out of the loophole.
That's, you weren't the only one that was like trying to, like, there was a bunch of people like were like not necessarily like rushing, but like trying to get something going. And I'm impatient as fuck. So like a friend had said that she wanted to start one, and like I reached out to her. I reached out to a few people to see what they were doing with it after they had talked to me about it, and then like she was just the first one to jump on it. So
that's cool. Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah, and you raised way more than what I was originally going to do. I was going to set it at $3,000 because you're like, that bike was like $3,000 or something like that, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, that'll at least replace that bike,
right?
Because I did not think that you'd get that much.
I didn't either.
I was surprised,
and it came pretty quick too. Like,
super
less
quick.
than 2 weeks, maybe, or 2 weeks at the most.
Incredible.
It really is. And I kind of had a feeling like once it got like past like and it teetered like there, like at like the two, it was like high, almost 3,000. And I knew like once it passed that, like people would want to see it, like kind of, you know, like get to the finish line. And, but like it stayed like at 28, 29. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know. Like, and I could have made that work, you know, but like, it would have been hard. Like, everything that's supposed to be cheaper is more expensive right now because of, you know, all the shit that's going on. And like, so just to replace the battery in the motor was $2,000. Yeah, it shouldn't be that much, you know, but like, that's corporate greed, I guess, for you. So,
But they want everybody to go electric.
yeah,
It's going to cost you $2,000 for a bike motor.
yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Like they have ones, man, that are like the ones that are manufactured that are the DIY are you can spend $5-6 grand on those.
Wow.
Easy. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And even bikes though, like I was looking up different looking for a red bike that was affordable and
right.
like it seems like most of them were like $13,000 and $10,000. Yeah, these are like, the carbon fiber and stuff like that, but like that's so expensive for a bike, like for anything, really. Like it's just it was crazy that like and I'm scrolling through and I'm like, I go on the site and I make sure to switch it from low to high because like I can't scroll through all these bikes. I got to get down to like the hundreds of dollars, not thousands, let alone tens of thousands.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. So like I found this Trek, and it was actually. There's a Trek store in Okemos, so it was like a local business.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I ordered it online, but you get it at the store, and they put it together and everything, and it was done within a few hours of me ordering it. Yeah, I was shocked. Like when I got the email saying it's ready to be picked up, and I was like, "Damn it, I gotta wait till tomorrow." My impatience again.
That's hilarious. That's how I am though with things.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I could go get it today, but I got to drive to Detroit to get it, I'm doing that.
Yep. I was like, how do I get there? Because I would have had to either. Well, I guess I could have taken the bus, but like,
you could have called me.
Oh well, yeah, I could.
Should have called me. I would have taken you.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got there the next day, luckily. But yes, I always forget like there's people willing to like get me places.
Then like it's the having to bother people too.
Yeah,
like I hate that element.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind people bothering me, but like I hate bothering people.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely you don't want to be that burden or whatever, but like. Yeah. Someone put it to me in a really simple way, like that, like shocked me really. That I needed a ride somewhere, and it was kind of a long distance, and the person had already helped me previously. Like I didn't want to be a thorn in their side or inconvenience or whatever. And the person I was talking to said, like some people enjoy helping others like that, like doing those things, like taking, like it might be an inconvenience, but like they enjoy like being able to do that. And I thought about it and I was like, God, that's like, and like you think about that feeling you get when you help somebody, and it's a good feeling. So
it really is.
Yeah. So now I think of it as like giving people the opportunity to feel good instead.
Yeah. They call them up. Hey, do you want an opportunity to feel good?
I got plenty of them.
That's a new way. I'm going to do that whenever I ask for somebody's help.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like, I'm not high maintenance. I'm just a feel-good dealer.
But that's so true, though, because, like, if somebody needed a ride, like a friend, to, like, the Detroit airport or the Grand Rapids airport or something, like, that's something that would be considered, like, kind of a big deal because it's a long drive.
Right.
But, like, I wouldn't feel put out. I'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
We get to listen to music. We get to hang out.
Right.
Like, yeah, I don't mind.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we just gotta change our perception on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let people feel good about themselves. It's just with anything else. Just don't moderation, I guess, is the key to everything.
Yeah, you can't be a pushover and say yes to everything because then that leads to unhappiness.
Yeah, there's people that take advantage of situations, and if they see somebody if you I hate using this as an example, but if you give if a restaurant owner is like give a homeless person food, then the word spreads, and then all of a sudden everybody's there, trying to get food, and like you try to help as much as you can, but you can only do so much. Giving away free product and whatnot. So
that's kind of how I felt when we were at When September Ends last year. Did I tell you about this?
I don't think so.
I feel like I might have, but maybe I didn't. I might have told somebody else. My wife had a table set up with like jewelry and stuff, and this guy, he was deaf. At least he acted deaf.
Okay.
Came walking up and like was like telling her he wanted like her jewelry. And so, at first he wanted money.
Okay.
And so I gave him like $10 or whatever. And because he asked for $10, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, here. And then he pointed at her jewelry and was like, here, put that on me.
Okay.
Here, put that on me.
Yeah.
And she gave it to him.
Yeah.
And then like he didn't leave.
Yeah. Like
it's like you're at a homeless event.
Yeah.
And, like,
yeah.
people are giving you things, and it's like you don't stop.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be a line drawn somewhere, and then unfortunately sometimes you have to draw that line.
Yeah,
you know, like
but what do you do? What do you do in that position?
I mean, other than letting him like just sit down at the booth and get do whatever he wants, like you just gotta ask him to leave, go to the next booth, see what they got. See that booth over there?
See that red bike over there?
Go talk to that guy. He'll bring you all kinds of stuff.
Are you doing that this year?
Yeah, I'm actually emceeing it.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. I was supposed to MC it last year, but it got weird. Somebody like kind of volunteered themselves and like took over, and I'm typically the type of person that will just be like, oh, all right, well, he wants to do it. That's cool.
Just let him do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to start a drama or anything.
Yeah.
It's not that big. I'm not getting paid, so like
right.
I'm not losing out on money or anything. And that when that becomes a problem, then that changes things a little bit when it's monetarily affecting me. But I'll be there this year, emceeing, and I think it's gonna be a cool event. It always is, and it gets better every year too.
Yeah.
Like we learn from the past years and try to do just a little bit better every time, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, Erica was on last weekend.
Oh, was she? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
she was talking about it, and
nice.
She kind of talked about like what the first one was like compared to like how last year was.
Oh yeah.
Were you there in the beginning?
No, I think I started like the third year, maybe. I don't know what this one is.
I think this is the 5th or 6th, I think she said.
So if it's the 5th, then I started on the third year of it. So I missed the first 2. The second one, I think I was supposed to be involved in, and then like the pandemic happened or something. And yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but like I've been in the last. Well, this will be my 3rd year involved in it. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. And my roles get a little bit bigger each year. So like the first one, I just kind of read some poetry. I helped plan it, but like I just was there, like, and then read, did a set reading poetry, and that was it. So. Now it's like emceeing and being like a pretty big, planner of it.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's one thing she was saying that it's a lot. It's a lot to plan. Yeah, and she's like kind of overwhelmed because she just got her 501c3.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's like an official nonprofit, and
right.
she's got to apply for funding and all that fun jazz.
Yeah, there's writing grants and ways so much, because I'm on the board for Jubilee as well.
Yeah.
So I'm at all those events, and and we have our board meetings and whatnot, and deciding what to do and how to make things work, and there's a lot like. Every time we go, there's like 2 pages like full of like notes to talk about. And I'm like, oh, this is not gonna last an hour. We're not gonna be done in an hour. But I mean, it's an important cause, and needs to be addressed. So hopefully, she's impressed the hell out of me, man. Like the dedication and work that she's put into making this something that will be around for a long time. Yeah. Yep.
It's kind of cool to see somebody who has what would be considered like a pipe dream,
mm-hmm.
and have them kind of bring it to fruition. Mm-hmm. Because last year I remember interviewing her, and she wasn't like a nonprofit yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember thinking like, like I wonder, like this seems like somebody who has like this massive dream that might not come true.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like, okay, she could totally make this happen.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes. Yeah. She's got a lot of contacts that are good,
Yeah.
and stuff like that through like the church community. And I mean, shit, she like got a car, like,
Yeah, I know.
Like,
she drove here.
that was, I know. That's awesome. Like, it's like half a mile away. That's great. I love it though. Like it's like so much more than just a car to like the organization. Like it's freedom. It's, it's a catalyst for it. So, and like, I think like, sometimes people can like forget about that, like that it's not just an object, like it's extremely important, for the things that need to be done to not have to take the bus and not to, the bus is great and we have a great public transportation system, but it takes its time, and that's just the way it is. So
that's one thing I was talking to her about on the podcast. I was like, that's something I don't think about because I have vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really had to take a public transportation other than maybe when I was like 18.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since I got like a grown-up job, like I've always had vehicles.
Yeah.
And that's something I've kind of taken for granted over the years, like being able to just jump in my vehicle and go to the grocery store, go wherever I need to go. Like I just went and picked up subs.
Yeah.
Like before she would have to like walk or take the bus or ride a bike.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you ride a bike too.
Yes.
But you have a very modernized bike. Whereas like hers, like she had to like pedal, hike up a hill. And like that takes a lot of work and dedication.
That hill going up Aurelius to Mount Hope.
Oh my gosh. That's the worst.
It's a bitch.
It really is.
Plus you got cars flying by you and it's not like it's just like paved road. It's like disgustingly like potholed road. So yeah.
I remember going up that hill with my bike with my kid's trailer attached with the 2 kids in it. It was like 50 pounds at least in the back.
Yeah. I was like, nope, I just coasted backwards. Nope, we're not doing it.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can only imagine. I mean, I've had a couple situations where I was coming back and my battery died or something like right before that hill, like right before. And I'm like, now I had like a trailer. I had one of those kids trailers too with no kids in it, but like those things aren't light themselves. They're not. And had to haul. And it was horrible. And like. I had my bike set up so like it didn't really matter what gear I was in. Like I didn't have to shift, right? And like so I didn't like play with it so it would like actually shift. So like I had one gear, like it was like the middle one. So like it was like it got easier and sometimes, but then like when I was going downhill, like I could only go so fast too because like it just stops pedaling. You're just like spinning. So like I learned how to adjust that real quick. But yeah, the car is a huge component to like what she needs to do to make this successful. So
do you think that if you had to go back to riding just a normal bike with no motor, no assistance whatsoever, just pedals, that you would continue doing what you're doing?
Maybe like if I had one of them expensive ass bikes, like because those even this one like it pedals so much better than the other one. Like it's so like even with the motor on, like, and I think they might have improved the motor too, so like it doesn't have any much resistance when it's not turned on, so you can pedal. There's still like 20 pounds though, so like that in the battery.
20 pounds resistance?
No, like just the weight of the motor itself and the battery. Yeah, like I think the motor's 12 pounds and then the battery is like 10. Wow. So yeah, it's an extra 20 some pounds, but like it's definitely like easier. So like I think if I had a good enough bike that I would have to probably shrink my delivery area though, just to make sure, like, because like getting 3 miles when you're just pedaling is
it's a lot of work.
It's going to take a lot longer than when I can go 30 some miles an hour. So that would affect that negatively. It would be one of those things like it'll get there.
Yeah.
When and how good it is, I don't know. I can't guarantee that. But well, I'll get it to you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I would, but I don't think it would be as, I don't think I would be able to be as helpful as I can be with it, with the motor and stuff. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I had to go to the south side and deliver a note the other day.
A note? Like a car payment?
Like, no. Like a note for the dog sitter.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like, I was really kind of baffled by it because I was like, everybody has cell phones now, right? Like, why did, like, so this woman was messaging me. And I asked her, I said, yeah, of course I can do that. But I said, doesn't she have a phone or something that you can call her on? And she said, no. Or no, she said, the person that has her contact information is in the hospital, and she's like all jacked up on morphine or something. Ooh. So like, I don't know what she was going through, but like so she was in the hospital for longer than she was supposed to be, and they were trying to like get a message to the dog sitter to call this other person who's in California.
Whoa.
To like relay like, you know, the information or whatever. And so I did, you know, it was just, she told me what to put on there. I put her name, number, like, you know, please get a hold of this person. And a few days later, I think maybe even a week later, I remembered, like, I thought about it, like, I should message her and see if the dog sitter got the note. And so I did, and she said no. And I was like, oh God.
My gosh.
Well, because she wasn't going back to the house because she was set for a certain couple of days to go, you know, take care of the dogs, and then she thought her, you know, her obligation was over. Right. So the woman from California flew back here like on a whim basically, and just like took care of everything. The dogs are fine; they survived, which is good because she had 5 of them apparently.
Whoa!
So some of them were Chihuahuas, I guess. So those are little resilient bastards. You know?
They really are.
They just, you know, shake a lot. I imagine they need food because they burn so many calories shaking. Like, so she said, the dogs were okay, and unfortunately she didn't get the note. But like, I asked her, I said, how did you hear about me? Like, she lives in California.
Yeah.
And she said she Googled delivery services in Lansing, and I was the one that came up.
Whoa.
So like, it was kind of like, what is it like it verified, like it made it a little less surreal that I actually own a business. Yeah. Like, and I don't just ride a bike around. like I'm actually doing something. Yeah. Wow. It was pretty cool to hear that.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Have you ever Googled yourself?
Not in a while. I remember when like I first heard about that, I did. But that was like the beginning of the internet. Like, you know, like Google just came out or something like 20 years ago or whatever it was. But like I mean, it's cool. Like, so I'm on Google Maps and everything. So like if you look above my house, it says Red Bike Delivery. So like the other people that live with me might be a little confused. Like,
that's hilarious.
But yeah, it's no, they know what I do. But like it's cool like to see that. It's definitely verifying, and like, you know, like I said, it just makes you realize like what's really actually happening. Like, because you kind of get caught up in everything, you know, and don't really think about it, and until you stop and like look back and like take some time to kind of reminisce on what's happening and enjoy it, you know. Like, I definitely want to make sure I take time to enjoy the things that I'm doing from now on, because you just get caught up in the moments too much, and like all of a sudden it's like 20 years later. You're like, what happened to my life? Especially
when you like have things like what just happened to you happen. Somebody steals your bike. It's easy to get caught up in those moments and become like bitter and angry, and then like, oh, now I gotta hustle even harder and just keep going and going and going, and not sit back and appreciate the fact that you had 100 people donate to this thing, or that you have a community of people that are willing to share your posts, or people who can just Google your business and be like, whoa, I'm gonna call them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call him.
Yeah, like a completely random, stranger. Like,
yeah.
But like they don't know that. Like they see it as just it's a business,
legitimate
like, and I
business.
think about it, like you're just calling some random dude. Like, but like actually, like there's an LLC behind it and everything.
That's like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't think you're legit.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting there. It's sinking in.
Yeah.
It took me a while to be able to like call myself like a poet or a writer too. So like that, like it was like it would get stuck in my throat. Like I'm a poet. I don't know. I say things like like it was really weird. It was really weird for me to start saying that. And eventually, obviously, like it sunk in, and I realized, well, I guess I am. Like, because when I started like realizing like that I was doing like events and being at the same place that like all these people that I respected in that community were, like getting invited to things and like for that purpose, and I was like, well, maybe it is legit, like,
yeah,
So
I understand that, because that's how the podcast was too. Like at first, I'm like, I was kind of afraid to tell people I podcast. Like I don't want people to listen to me. I was kind of embarrassed. Like, oh, you podcast, like you're a wannabe, or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But like now, like I tell everybody, I'm like, yeah, I do a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun.
Right.
I enjoy doing it, but yeah, it's one of those like imposter syndrome things.
Yeah. It's my imposter syndrome is, yeah, definitely. It's rough. It can be. And I don't know, like, but like at the same time, like it's weird. Like I'm really good at I'm really good at like self-promoting and like not like giving a shit. like if I'm bugging people, like, if someone can see a Walmart commercial 17 times on TV for one day and like is going to get mad that I send them like 2 messages in a week, then they can piss off.
But the thing is those people will get mad at you.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
And you're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, people have said things to me because I'm the same way. I self-promote and like I have no shame whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I do podcasts. Like if I release every single day, I'll promote it every fucking day.
Yeah.
On every platform.
Yeah, no one else is going to.
No, exactly. You have to.
Yeah.
But like you said, people will watch fucking TV all day long, watch a Walmart commercial or other chain things and have no problem whatsoever. But the minute they see a local guy trying to hustle and get after it, they're like, "Oh, this fucking wannabe!"
Right?
Like,
yeah.
Why is he on my news feed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Scroll.
Like opening up your messenger was that big of an inconvenience. Like,
yeah.
This fucking guy again.
This fucking guy.
And I don't like spam people. I don't like do that a ton. Like and I try to keep it like limited to like things that like involve other people or you know what I mean, not just like for like I don't know, because I'm always doing something. Like right now I'm doing that. It's called the downtown Lansing food fight.
Ah, I seen that.
Yeah. It's so it's a bunch of businesses downtown and they all gather like non-perishables for the food bank, and then basically there's 2 awards. There's one for like the most, which obviously some company with hundreds of employees is gonna win that, right? Like but then there's one for the most per employee. So I'm like, well, if I get like 600 pounds of food, but it's only me. Like, there's no way. Like, I'd have to be able. I don't think I'm gonna have 600 pounds of food, but like,
I have to get like some turkeys.
It's. I'm definitely buying cans.
Oh, it's non-perishable.
Everything.
That's right.
Yeah. But I just shared something on Facebook about it because you can donate
to a person
for me, like as like under like Red Bike Delivery.
Okay.
If you like go on my Facebook page and there's a link on there, and like they take monetary donations too. So like the way that it equates for this food fight is that every dollar equals a pound of food.
Oh.
So it's literally like every dollar really helps. And like it's to help these people that need that basic necessity of food, but like a trophy's cool too sometimes.
And it kind of gives you something you can add to your website.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
an achievement.
Exactly. And being like a smaller like sole proprietor kind of thing. It's I try to get like, out there as much as I can and promote, but like I can only do so much.
Yeah.
So
Well, and plus you're making a difference.
Yeah.
You're not just like,
Yeah.
you're not promoting and like capitalizing off of it. You're
Right.
You're donating your time and effort and everything, and everything's going into it.
Yeah. And it's, trying to help, like, because I really believe that, like, if we build a stronger community, like, everything, like, businesses like mine and other people that are trying to do things, would take care of themselves, really. Like, if we had a strong enough community and people did whatever they could for others, because they knew that, like, when their time came, like, someone else is going to do whatever they can for you. Like, that's what it's all about. It's like, karma or whatever, and just, just doing what you can for others, and knowing that, like, they would do the same for you.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a community's for.
Right.
I mean, initially that's what they used to be.
Right. Yeah, it's changed a little bit.
Yeah, I think with the access to things and how simple it is to get things, and the ability to be able to just jump in your vehicle and go wherever you want, whenever you want, and
and houses.
Yeah, and having houses separates you from other people.
It's I mean, like, I don't really want to imagine the world without, like, having a house, but like, it does, like, it's like, families don't live together really, until like they actually, like, try to separate from each other, like, almost as far as they can sometimes.
I agree with that.
So, like, we're in a new dynamic, really, of being a human being.
Yeah, we are.
And it's not what we started off as, that's for sure. But but everything changes and evolves, and we just got to figure out how to human beings are very good at evolving. Like, there's a reason why we're still here, why we're at top of the food chain. Like, as long as you're not swimming in the ocean, then you kind of drop down a little bit without a weapon.
Unless the aliens come.
Well, yeah,
if the aliens come, we're all screwed.
Yeah, well, they're not. This is I'm pretty sure this is like the ghetto of the universe. Like, the aliens drive by, they roll their windows up.
Oh shit. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, speaking, what's cool though? They did just take a picture of the black hole that is in the middle of the Milky Way galaxy. Yeah. Whoa. It's the second ever picture of a black hole, and the first picture of ours, which is like, it's the center of our neighborhood. Like,
that's crazy.
It's like what's one of the most mysterious things in existence.
They say that if you go into it, you'll get crushed.
Yeah, like strung out like spaghetti or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And but you might exist in two places at once. Then, like, inside and like on the surface of it, it's really weird.
That's weird.
Like, all that. I would love to see like some like real data, like really, like, we know what happens in a black hole, like, before I die, but it's not gonna happen.
I think we should just send something up there.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Well, I mean, shit, they're like, this one's like, I think it's like 26,000 light years away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's like that's the middle of our universe.
Yeah.
Like, that's how far things are. Like, it takes light 26,000 years to get there. Like, we can't even go close to that fast. So
that's crazy.
So like and then there's like a theory that those are like portals to other spots, they're like jump points or whatever,
other dimensions
to like, or other spots in space, even, like, because like everything's so far away, like, it would be this, it's just a little like quick like did you ever play Doom?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
They had like those ones,
little portals.
You'd go in there and like just transport to a different part of the game. Like, that's what I think of when they say that. But like, at the same time, you might die a horrible death. I think if I had the opportunity though, like, and I was like, older, I'll go in there.
Yeah?
Shoot me up.
You do it?
Hell yeah. Like, you're gonna come out in like some other like awesome or crazy part of the universe, or you're just gonna be dead and you're gonna be revered forever as the first guy who went into the black hole and realized that we can't go in there.
Like, well, that guy was a moron, but now we know.
Somebody's got to do it. Like, why not?
What do you think? How do you think people would react if aliens came to Earth?
Oh God.
Do you think it'd be mad, like chaos?
Yeah.
I think it'd be chaotic everywhere.
It would be. I think. It would be like what happened during COVID, but like 10 times worse. Yeah, because like technically, like if you think about it, like it was like an invasion from an an unknown source or whatever at the time, and like it turned into racism and separation, and like nothing good came out of it.
No.
So I think it would be horrible. Yeah.
What do you think like religious people's thoughts would be on that? Do you think they'd believe in God still?
I think God. I think it depends on how deeply like embedded it was in them, like that, you know, that the religion is what it is, and
yeah,
you know, and it could be, you know, I don't know. I think like there's got to be some like balance with science and religion, right? Like there's something, they got to work together somehow.
Yeah,
I just don't know how.
But like if you ask a religious person, they'd probably say that aliens aren't real.
Oh yeah,
but they also could say that if aliens are real, that God created them.
Right. Well, yeah, like he created everything in the universe that's expanding, and I don't even know. Like when I first found out that we were like, because you know that you grow up seeing the solar system, like the model of it, where you're just like planets spinning around the sun, like stationary, and then they like show like the 3D, like what was actually happening, where we're like flying through space and all this shit spinning around us. Like that's insane. It's crazy. Like and like everything's so far apart that you can literally go like I don't even know how fast the Earth's going right now, but it's fast, and like we don't have to worry about running into anything. There's no meteors coming our way. Like we've already like mapped the universe out well enough to know there's no like Texas-sized meteors that are going to hit the Earth, right? It's just like there's so much crazy shit going on out there, like
1,000 miles per hour.
Is that how fast the Earth's going? All right. Yeah. And like, I also learned that like, you know how like in the movies you see like people cruising through asteroid fields and like it's all dramatic and stuff, like those asteroids are like hundreds of miles apart.
Yeah.
Like
they're not that close.
You literally just like, it'd be like a Sunday drive like through it. Like it's not, that's how like, we can't even understand like the volume of this, like and the length of things. Like it's you know, when they say that there's something that's like 56 times the mass of the sun, like what the fuck is that? I don't know what that number is. Just put a 56 on top of that, like in little numbers. It's mind-boggling. Like
it really is.
But it's also like. And like it just makes you think like how like crazy it is that we're here right now, like of all the time that has passed and all the time that will pass, and like that we're here like doing this fucking thing. Is crazy. Yeah,
when there's greater things out there.
Yeah,
like space.
There's
we're here.
It's just on a fucking rock, like going 1,000 miles per hour, and like you know, like gravity's here, the atmosphere is here, so like you can't even like feel it, you know, like we're spinning even faster than that.
It is kind of insane.
It's like so like
we're spinning, but this table's not moving whatsoever.
Right,
it's kind of strange,
but it is like if you were looking from the outside, like you could like look at this from like a telescope from like the moon, and you'd have to like adjust it, you know, you'd have to watch it. Move the telescope to keep watching it, right? I think. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but
yeah, me neither.
I think I know how basic things work. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I baffle myself with my stupidity. So, well, that's what did I do? I said, oh, it was like one of those, you know, like, have a good day, you too. And then I was like, thank you. She said, you too. Or no, like, I know I said something wrong. And I was like in the elevator, like after that, just thinking like you made it through the whole fucking conversation. And then the last thing you say, you had to screw it up. Like, and it's one of those like, you know, common, like in passing things. It's so funny when we screw those things up, and we always feel like so stupid, but everybody does it. You know, everybody said like when the waiter says enjoy your meal, and you're like, you too. You know, shit like that.
I do that shit all the time. It's just like a natural inclination to be like, yeah, you too. Like, like have a good day, you too.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. And then you feel like a fucking moron.
Yeah. Like, can I get a box, please? I need to go.
I need to go. It's time for me to go.
I'm going to go home and cry myself to sleep now.
So what else you got going on?
Summerfest is coming up.
Summerfest.
That's another one. In August. They actually just changed the date to August 27th.
Okay.
Because the 20th is Art Feast in Old Town.
Oh.
And that's been going on for years on the same date, so they didn't want to take away from that or compete with it even. So yeah, now it's August 27th, and it'll be from like 11 in the morning until 10 at night, I believe. So like, yeah, there's going to be vendors. Michigan Ave will be shut down over by the Avenue, and there'll be tons of vendors, and they got a really good lineup of bands and entertainment too. I think that what is it, Full House Band or something is the headliner.
Oh, sweet.
And they're like, pretty cool, like cover band. I believe I haven't heard their stuff yet. I know Bridget booked them, so and
cool.
I'm seeing that too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can't get away from me. The East Side, wherever you go, I'm coming for you. I'm there. But like, yeah, it's we'll have the mobile stage, you know, that big ass trailer that they got for the stage, and
that's cool.
We learned from last year to get some coverage for that and some chairs. So maybe
because it's in kind of an open field, right?
Yep. Right, like across the street from that hot tub store, the old hot tub store down there. It's a good spot, but yeah, like there was no seating and stuff like that, and it was hot as fuck that day.
It was really hot,
or the whole weekend. We were only doing it one day this year.
Okay.
Instead of the whole weekend, because it's so much. I can only imagine what Bridget has to go through planning that whole thing, man. It's insane.
Who's Bridget?
Bridget, she's on the board for the Eastside Neighborhood Organization. Well, I'm pretty sure she is, because she always sends me like invites to their meetings. So yeah, she's just a resident of the neighborhood, and somebody that's, you know, pretty passionate about the East Side. So yeah, Doyle is her last name. I was like, I can't think of her last name. I'm so bad with last names. But yeah, she put it together last year, and then we're gonna do it again this year, and I think it'll be something that'll be going on for as long as possible.
Very cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I get to vend, MC, and perform at once. Wow. Like I make sure that my tent's by the stage, and I just run back and forth all day.
That's good exercise.
Yeah, right. It was a good way to stay away from the mosquitoes last year, because it was the craziest like combination of like hot and no wind like throughout the day. Like, so they just hovered there, and so like if there's no wind this year, I'm in like a turbine or something, just blasting, like have someone park their airplane at one end and just turn it on, because that was you couldn't sit still. There were so many mosquitoes.
Oh, that's miserable.
I think it was all over town though, like that, like last year. Like,
they were
I
bad.
remember going to Kriego Park to do like a photo shoot, and I stopped like on the trail somewhere, like by a sign to like get a picture with the sign, and we stopped for maybe 3 minutes, and there was literally thousands of mosquitoes around me. I was like trying to take a picture too, like not like don't move, like act like this is cool, like you're having fun, like
you're getting bit in the eyes and stuff.
They're like in my ears, and like it was insane.
Mosquitoes are one of those things that like just creep me the fuck out.
Yeah,
they like crawl on you, and you're like, geez, God damn, stop it.
You can't ever tell where they are, but you know they're like right around you somewhere. Yeah, and then they like, I don't know, they like, it's like they can like magnify their buzzing, so it's like always in your ear, and then you smack yourself in the side of the head all the time, even though you never get them. I don't think I've ever killed a mosquito smacking myself on the side of the head, but I keep doing it. Yeah, those, and they've been, you know, what's funny is like they've been around forever too, right? And like, you know, they were around with dinosaurs and shit. And like the best thing that they could have evolved to do is like they just like sit there and wait for you to kill them. Like, like that's all you got. You just land there and like, I think like they've done a horrible job evolving. Thank God.
Yeah, they've done a terrible job.
But like
terrible.
And
job.
I learned the other day too that like only 5% of mosquitoes like actually like human blood.
Really?
Yeah, but that's how many mosquitoes there are.
Whoa.
That only 5% of them. And then there was like a number that even broke it down even smaller than that. I can't remember, but yeah, and then like, but like all the diseases and shit that come from them, like they just need to go. Let's just eradicate them. I watched a thing.
Are they pointless? Do you think?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I watched a thing on one of the like Discovery channels or something that went through like if mosquitoes did become extinct. And there was a little change at first, but like it righted itself pretty quick. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we can just kill them all.
Let's definitely do that.
If it's possible.
Let's definitely do that.
They're like mosquito nukes. Like, how does this work?
Yeah, how does that work?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, but we need somebody needs to figure it out.
Fuck mosquitoes.
They're seriously. They're just a pest. They bother.
They really are.
Spread disease. They're good for nothing.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah,
not a fan.
Like every animal that like might suck, like you're like, well, at least they eat mosquitoes, like you know, like it's a horrible thing without that, but like they eat mosquitoes, so we'll keep them around.
Yeah, that's interesting because I guess at that point mosquitoes would be like the end of the food chain, like the bottom of the food chain. Yeah.
And it's weird to me too that like I don't think they can get like they don't spread disease like if they bite a human that has like I don't know, herpes or something, like there's not mosquito herpes, I don't think. Like it's just weird, you know, you think like they're taking the blood in, you think it would affect them, but like, and that makes me think like, why aren't we like looking into that to like for us, like if they're resilient to it, like maybe we could be, I don't know, like I don't know. It's just some shower thoughts, you know.
Interesting. Some scientist is probably working on it.
If not, they are now. They like to steal my ideas.
Damn scientists.
Yeah, they got me. You know, the government's watching me and whatnot, so like they get all my ideas tapped into my cell phone. No, I don't believe that stuff. I'm not.
You don't think they tap into your cell phone?
I mean, they could, but like, I'm pretty sure they got way more important things to see what my boring ass is doing.
Yeah, but I don't think it's necessarily a person.
Yeah.
Like,
you mean just like, yeah. But like, well, I'm pretty sure like every phone call and text message is still somewhere.
Yeah,
like
it's definitely somewhere.
Yeah, so like it's recorded somewhere. I'm sure of it. Like you can't delete a text message once it's been sent. Like it's got to be somewhere, right? Like because they're not just deleting that database or whatever.
I mean, that was the whole part of the Patriot Act,
right?
So they could look at people's records.
And that happened with Kwame. Like all his text messages got pulled up. You remember that?
Yeah.
Like God, I haven't thought about that guy in forever. That was an ordeal. But yeah, like I mean, like I don't think anybody's monitoring me. I think like if they wanted to find out things that happened, they probably could through that.
Yeah.
If I like became like a terrorist or something and they needed to like look shit up, but like,
or if you talk enough shit about the government,
like openly, just don't do it openly. It was funny, like for a while, like I was like, I thought like DoorDash was like had my shit bugged because like it seemed like every like advantage that I tried to make for my company, they would eventually start doing. And you know, like it's a delivery business. These are options and they have tons of people thinking about these things and that are paid to do this shit. They're going to come up with the ideas eventually, you know? Like one of mine was like, oh, I can get your food and your dry cleaning at the same time, you know, for just one delivery fee. And guess what DoorDash does now? Like they'll make stops at party stores and shit with your food. So like, there was another thing that I had thought of too, that they ended up implementing as well. But like, you know, like I said, like it's not like I don't have a ton of original thoughts, if I have any at all. Like, you know, most
You're definitely not inventing the wheel.
No.
You're just putting things together.
Exactly. I'm just trying to make it better. Like, and
but
like,
but they're definitely copying that, or not copying, but they're doing it too.
Well, I'm trying to localize it too, you know, and make it like more community based.
I mean, because that's your target audience, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. You know, smaller areas and more personalized service. So
I think people identify better with that.
I think so.
Yeah.
There was some lady that I delivered some water to that like put a post on 517 Living page that like it got a lot of attention, and she was basically like telling like people how I saved her life, and like yeah, it was pretty intense. Like she texted me and like was very concerned about whatever was going on. It's all medical shit that I have no idea about, but like I knew that she needed like some water, like bottled water because of her condition or whatever. And so I told her, I was like, I'll be right there. And I headed over and dropped everything I was doing and got her the water. And she tried to pay me later, and I was like, no, like this, like someone shouldn't have to pay to like, to stay alive, like, like to save their own life. It's just like for a basic necessity, like water. Yeah. And like, yes, everybody has tap water, but like some people, I don't know, there's something with her condition that she can't, it doesn't help basically. Yeah. So like, yeah, so I told her like there's no charge for it. It cost me a couple bucks, for a couple bottles of water. And like, so she shared this, and like, I haven't talked about it, publicly because like, I didn't want to put her business out there. Yeah. So when she shared it, I thanked her for that, and she thanked me for not, letting her take her time or whatever to put it out there. And I didn't even think about like, like publicizing it or making a big deal out about it. And like,
we shouldn't.
Right. And that's the thing too, is like a lot of things like happen like that people don't even know about, like that are so helpful, and like not trying to be a glory hound and just like chase that like attention is like how things are supposed to be done.
I've seen people post on Facebook before like, oh, I was at the grocery store and this person needed this, so I helped them. Mm-hmm. Or like this, they needed like a couple bucks, so I paid for their whatever. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, are you craving attention? Yeah. Like, why do you need to post that on Facebook? It's like, I understand you feel like you did a good deed for the day, but just be satisfied with that. Yeah. If you help somebody out, just be happy that you're able to help them.
There should be more of that. Yes. Yeah. It's with social media and stuff, it's definitely changed. And I'm torn between it because, like you're not supposed to do this stuff for like the glory of it, right? Yeah. But at the same time, if you're doing stuff to help people, like I can't be too mad at you, but like maybe just check your motives. Like, like that person may not like, so like one of the big ones was like people like going, giving homeless people money or whatever, there's videos of that all over the internet. And like, if they didn't have the video and like the proof of it to show, they might not have done it. So like,
well, you're definitely doing good.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, I don't know. It's the attention aspect of it. Like, what's your true motives here?
Right.
Like, you're helping somebody out, but like, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of torn about that.
It is. It's tough. Yeah.
It's like, one of those things.
You shouldn't be doing it for this reason, but keep doing it. Just like, I don't know, How
about just be a good person and don't talk about it?
Well, yeah.
Like, but I mean, I'm not saying that's what you're doing.
No, I know what you're saying. And eventually somebody will talk about it though. Like, I think or that, you'll get your recognition if it's that necessary for you to get it. Yeah. Like, but
well, eventually people see that. And they'll tell other people, and then eventually it comes full circle.
Yeah. Yeah. It got to a point where like I was scared to publicize like some of the things that I was doing because like I didn't want to be that person. Yeah. I didn't want people to think that I was doing it for any kind of attention. Like I had the opportunity one year to adopt a family for Christmas, and like we like I put him like I got him a limo, like a Escalade, like cool. To drive him around. took him out to dinner, to a show, and then back home, like with tons of presents and all kinds of stuff for Christmas. And like I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to I didn't want to make it seem like I was that guy. Even though I didn't do it with any intention of well, people will notice this,
Right.
But like I just it became such a common thing, such a big thing that like I didn't want to get rolled up into that stereotype. So like I literally it took me months to even say that we did it.
Yeah.
It's also good for people to see those stories.
Something just happened.
Oh.
Can we wrap this up?
Yeah.
All right. What's up? Hold on. This is kind of I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Things happen. Life happens.
All right. Let's wrap this up.
All right. See you next time.
All right. So real quick, anything else you want to mention?
No, just be good to everybody and live life to the fullest.
Okay. Awesome.
All right.
Well, thanks again, man.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. This was fun. I love doing podcasts with you.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
It's fun.
So, all right, everybody. See ya.
Bye-bye.